Okay, this is a third glute activation session, slightly different to the previous two, and I'm going to add in a little bit of strength also into this session. It is a build on from the other sessions, so make sure you do session 1 and 2 before you do this session. Okay, we're going to start with standing clams as our glute activation exercise. So I will go for a band that doesn't have too much resistance because we are going to do quite a bit of glute activation, okay? Now the session's meant to be 15 minutes, so I need to try and keep it to 15 minutes. So medium resistance band, light or medium around the top of your knees, okay? So we're going to go on to one leg, bend the other leg 90 degrees, okay? I want you to hinge a little forward from the hips, okay? And in that position, arms in front to help stabilize, and you're just going to take the leg out to the side. Nice steady pace for me for 10. I'm hoping I don't moan too much because I've just done glute activation with one of my runners online, so I'm hoping my glutes don't scream too much because I can already feel them. Okay, so it's nice and controlled, this one. Okay, so onto the other leg, bend the leg to 90 degrees, so like that. Okay, hinge from the hips forward slightly, arms in front to stabilize, and let's take the leg to the side. Don't rush it. You tend to rush when you haven't got control, so I want to see control. Good. Two more. Good. Okay, and relax. Okay, the hinge forward is only slightly there. Okay, we're not leaning right forward, so it's just a small hinge forward from the hips, and it's there that we come out. Okay, so do 10 again on the other side. Oof. That is the standing leg that you're probably going to feel the glute the most, but you're also probably possibly going to feel it on the leg that goes out to the side as well. Right, let's go. Hinge from the hips, out to the side. Now I'm going to do 2 sets on this session. If you want to do 3 sets and you've got time, just pause me after this set and do 1 more. Your back starts to ache, just come up a little bit. Here we go. Oh, I can really feel it already. Okay, so pause me now if you want to do 1 more set. Right, now we're going to go back to do what we've done before, the toe heel and the lateral steps. But we're going to progress it by double banding, okay? So I'm going to assume you've done session 1 and 2. So before we had the band around the knees, then we moved to the calves, then we moved to the ankles, okay? This time we're going to have 1 band around the knees, and then you're going to have another band around either your calves or your ankles. I'm going to go for calves today. Ankles is a bit harder. Now, if you want to make it super tough, you have the band with less resistance at the top and the band with more resistance here around the calves or the ankles, okay? If you want a bit of an easier ride, switch them over. Okay, so bit of a gap between the feet so the bands don't fall down. We're going to go diagonal step backwards, toe, heel, okay? Keep the center leg for me nice and still and controlled. I don't want to see that happen, okay? I don't want to see the leg shift back. Nothing's going to happen, really. So keep that leg fixed. The other leg does the work. And we land toe heel. If you have the DMS mat, you can aim for the white foot as your guide. But the most important thing is you control the center leg. And it depends on the resistance of the bands and your strength as to whether you can hit that white foot. And I've lost count. I'm going to do 2 more. It's 10 we're aiming for. Try and keep that back foot straight as you go toe heel. Then straighten up, then bend a little bit, and do the other side. A lot tougher when it's double banded. Good. Keep that center leg still. Oh heck, I can feel this. Here I go. Well, don't worry if you can't. Like I said, I've already done this once. Okay, so that's set number 1. Bend the knees a little bit, soften the knees. Let's go. Step number 2. So this time we're not going to change the position of any of the bands. We're going to stay as you are for the whole 3 sets. Check that back foot's nice and straight as you go down with that heel. Just have a little look if you're not sure. Good. And then as you recover between sets, just straighten up, give your glutes a breather, and then soften the knees a little bit, and let's go again. You can use this as a glute activation strength session as a standalone session, or it can act as a great warm-up before you go running. Or whatever sport you're going to do. If you've been watching the Women's World Cup, you might see them in their warm-up using bands as well. And recover. Okay, I've got one more set left. Let's go. So they do something similar. They walk forwards with diagonal steps in the Women's World Cup, and then they walk backwards with diagonal steps. So it's a very similar exercise to what we're doing now. I've got two more. Don't follow my counting. I lose count when I'm talking. Oh. And you might find that both glutes you'll probably find are kicking in now as we do this. If they're not, don't worry, because they probably will when we do the lateral steps in a second. We're all right for time. Recover. Okay, right. So now we're going to step laterally. So again, soften the knees a little bit. Take a step to the side. Okay, come back in. But again, don't let that center leg drift to the side. Keep it strong and solid. Okay, so keep the hip over the knee over the ankle. And you're just going to step outside with the other leg. The other thing to be careful of is that you don't lean to the side. Try and stay really upright and strong. Okay, let's go. I'd rather you not step as far and keep your form than take a really big step and lose your form. This one, it doesn't really matter how you plant the foot to the side. Just kind of full foot or slightly full foot first and then heel. Just go with what's comfortable. Now you're probably going to start to feel the glutes kick in. I certainly can. And when you've done your 10, straighten up, give the glutes a breather. And then soften the knees. Let's go. When I say soften the knees as well, it's not drop the knees forward, it's shift the hips back a little bit. Okay, so the difference, soften the knees forward just means the pressure now is onto my quads rather than my glutes. So soften the knees, but drop the hips back and the knees drop forward, then the pressure's into my glutes. Okay, ready, let's go, second round. So this is still glute activation that we're working on. I can feel myself rushing because it's hurting me. Try and keep that nice, consistent pace. And try and keep the feet pointing forward. So really important, we're trying to teach the glutes to fire when the feet are pointing forwards rather than having to have the hips externally rotated to be able to fire the glutes, which is the case for many people. And relax. So just check in on the feet for the last set. Are they nice and straight? Good. Shift the hips back and soften the knees. Let's keep the foot straight for the last set as we step to the side. The only reason you wouldn't do that is if it causes pain. Then you just have to turn the feet out the minimum amount that you can that doesn't cause pain. Oh, blimey. Last set. Okay, when you've done 3 sets diagonally backwards, 3 sets laterally, sideways, and get rid of the bands. Now you need a step box and some heavy dumbbells. So Depends what you've got. So the height of the step is not going to be super high, it's medium. So mine is 20 centimeters high. No higher than 20 centimeters high. And I would go for 10 kilograms in each hand, or anything between 7.5 and 12 really. If you only have 5s, then obviously you can only work with what you've got. You're going to have a dumbbell or a kettlebell in each hand. We're going to step up, I'll show you from here. Step all the way onto the step, feet are straight, okay, we get our heels on again, and then we step off. So it's right foot leading up, right foot down. But you've got to keep a fairly good pace because we want to keep it, we're loading the muscles rather than loading the joints. If you slow it down, it becomes more about the joints taking the impact than it does about the muscles. So try and keep a decent pace going. Make sure you plant the heel onto the step, it's really important. Right, let's go dumbbell in each hand. We're going to lead with the right leg and we're going to do 10 step-ups on each leg. Ready, go. This is now glute strength. You're probably going to feel your glutes from all the activation. As soon as you've done 10, switch legs to the other leg. Then we get a rest. And plant the dumbbells down. I'm going to take 30 seconds rest. So we led with the right leg that time. We're going to lead with the left leg. We're going to do 4 sets in total. And then we're done. 10 more seconds. Well, that 30 seconds has gone quick. Okay, grab your dumbbells. So left leg leading. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 10 on each. Keep the feet straight. Keep a good pace. Good posture. And switch legs after 10. Straight into it. Second recovery. 2 sets left. Next step is start with our right. We never start with the same leg every time. Otherwise, we just start creating imbalances. We're making imbalances even bigger. Oh my God, that's gone so quick. Okay. Grab your dumbbells, we've got 5 seconds to go. Ready? Right leg leading. 3, 2, 1, go. Five seconds recovery. And then we've got our last set, leading with our left leg. Another 20 seconds, and then that's just slightly over 15 minutes, but not much. This is one where you don't necessarily feel a burn in the glutes like you do with activation. But this exercise is one of the very best. It's actually ranked top in terms of developing glute strength. So it's a really good, simple, basic, but excellent glute strength exercise. It's basic, but and I think people underrate it, but it's actually one of the very, very best exercises for glute strength. Right, have I sold it to you? All right, so our last set then, leading with our left leg in 3, 2, 1, go. but you do need to do it with decent weights. Should be challenging. And then get rid of the weights and the step ups, you're done. Whew. Okay, that's it. So 15 minutes, glute activation, finishing with glute strength. Okay, cheers. Good work. Go out and run or whatever it is you're going to do.